Name the following compound, VO. V is vanadium, and it is in that transition metal block, which means that I do need to give myself a set of parentheses to remind myself that I need to do math. O is oxygen. It's an anion, so it's going to get the suffix change, so it's vanadium something oxide. And now I need to find out what that oxidative state for vanadium is. So I will do my anion versus cation math. My subscript for my anion, which is oxygen, is 1. And my charge for oxygen, since oxygen is in column 6, it has 6 valence electrons, so it has 6, but it wants 8, so it's going to have a charge of -2. 1 times -2 is -2. Equal and opposite of -2 is +2. Vanadium subscript is invisible, so that's a 1. 1 times what is 2? 1 times 2 is 2. All I need to do now is take this Arabic numeral and turn it into a Roman numeral. The Roman numeral for 2 is II. So all I will need to do is put that. So vanadium 2 oxide is my final name. Name the following compound, Fe2S3. Fe is iron. Iron is in that transition metal block, so I do need Roman numerals. And S is sulfur. Sulfur is my anion, so that means I need to change its suffix to "ide." So this will be iron something sulfide. And I need to figure out what that something is, so I will do my anion versus cation math. My anion is my sulfur. Sulfur subscript is 3. Sulfur is in column 6, which means it has 6 valence electrons, so it has 6, but it wants 8, so it's going to steal 2. 3 times -2 is -6. Equal and opposite of -6 is +6. Iron subscript is 2. 2 times what is 6? 2 times 3 is 6. Now I need to change this Arabic numeral into a Roman numeral. Roman numeral for 3 is III. So iron 3 sulfide is my name. Name the following compound, AgCl. Ag is silver. Silver is in that transition metal block, however, it is part of cadmium, which means that it gets treated as a representative metal, so I do not need to tell you what silver's oxidative state is, and I can just go ahead and continue. Cl is chlorine, and it is my anion, so I get to change its suffix to "ide", so silver chloride is my name. Identify the cation and the anion in the following compound, Ti3N4. My cation is always going to be whoever is in the first position, so that is going to be titanium, and my anion is whoever is in the second position, so that is going to be nitrogen. What is the correct formula for chromium 2 fluoride? Chromium has the symbol Cr. Chromium 2 means that I have a charge of +2. Fluoride is secretly fluorine. Fluorine's symbol is F, and it is in the 7th column, which means it has 7 valence electrons. So it has 7, but it wants 8 electrons, so it would steal 1. Then I would crisscross charges for subscripts and check to see if I can simplify my ratio. My ratio is 1 to 2. That cannot be simplified any further, so my final answer would be CrF2. What is the correct formula for aluminum bromide? Aluminum has the symbol Al. It is not in the first 2 columns, however, it is part of cadmium, so I do have the memorized charge for aluminum as +3. And bromide is secretly bromine. Bromine has the symbol of Br, and it is in the 7th column, which means it has 7 valence electrons. So it has 7, but it wants 8, so it would steal 1. Stealing is bad, so we have a charge of -1. Then I would go ahead and exchange charges for subscripts. And I would be left with AlBr3. The ratio 1 to 3 cannot be simplified any further, so this is my final formula for aluminum bromide. What are the Roman numerals used for? Roman numerals, again, this would look something like this. So I'm asking, what is that? What is that for? This is the charge of my metal, which is the charge of my cat ion. What is the subscript for cobalt and the correct formula for cobalt 1 sulfide? So cobalt has the symbol CO. Cobalt 1 means that I have a charge of positive 1. Sulfide is secretly sulfur. Sulfur has the symbol of S, and it is in the 6th column, which means it has 6 valence electrons. So I have 6, but I want 8, so I'm going to go ahead and steal 2 electrons. Stealing is bad, so I have a charge of -2. Then I would go ahead and exchange charges for subscripts, and I would be left with CO2S. I would check to see if I can simplify the ratio. The ratio is currently 2 to 1. I cannot simplify that any further, so that means that I am going to go ahead and say that that is correct, and I just need the subscript for cobalt. So my subscript for cobalt is 2, so that would be my final answer.